Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful Monday. It's the Monday of East of the Holy Week. And so I'm already noticing that there's a change and a shift that's happening as a result of this week. So I am going to pull up my slides. If you can just bear with me just one moment. I believe it's this one. Yes, that's right. So just bear with me as we go ahead and we get started. This stream can be inclusive, so I do encourage, conversation. And we're just going to be talking about how women of faith have overcome adversity. Just share some stories of encouragement. Um, it just seems like it's just been such a challenging time. And I just wanted to present some information to, bring some more hope to people. And also inspirational to spread some hope to myself too. So basically, we're going to be, you know, talking a little bit about the historical figures as well as some modern individuals in our times who have overcome. We're going to look at their testimonies. The word says that we overcome by the blood of the lamb in the word of our testimony. So that's what we're going to do is we're going to have these kinds of conversations around this. And then I'll present some strategies, um, that you can use and utilize that would be a combination of the two. And then we'll show some practical applications of how that can be done. So, regarding the full spectrum of the women of faith, you know, faith helps us to be strong even when we don't feel like we're strong. You know, I'm quite sure people have said to us as women, you're so strong, and they have no idea. No idea. Having faith also makes us resilient. It makes us resilient. And that's because you tend to look past what you have to deal with versus what is in front of you, right? And so, whenever you have that happen, when you're looking at what you're dealing with versus what is in front of you, it always seems more difficult, right? But people don't see what's going on inside you, right? They see what's going on with what you're doing. And then also, when we have faith, when we move in a place of faith, it also gives us perseverance. We are able to withstand and go through the things that we have to go through because of our faith. The thing is that when we move in a place of faith, really what we're doing is we are looking at the promises that God has given us, like we are the head and not the tail. We are above and not beneath. No weapon formed against us shall prosper, right? We are more than conquerors. And we look at those things, and that's what we're holding on to. And holding on to those things, despite what we see, despite what's happening, makes us resilient, makes us strong. And anytime there's an adversity that comes before us, don't we seem to be the ones that are holding on even when it's most difficult? We're holding on even no matter what it looks like, we are holding on. And that's kind of like what we have to do is you don't necessarily look at what you see, We look at what God has promised us. And the thing is, excuse me, that with God, at least I'll speak for myself, and I think a few others can say the same as well. He's never let me down. Never. Man has let me down, but God has never let me down. And that's what I have held on to all of my life. And utilizing our faith, doesn't it give you a sense of purpose? It gives you, it's a grounding almost where you're like, okay, I know that I am having this situation, but greater is he that is within me than he that is in the world, than he that is in the world. You know, knowing that despite everything, he is there for you. And through that, you're able to overcome those obstacles. Through that, it helps to cement that for you. So, as I mentioned before, we're just going to like go through some stories, some from the past, some from the present, and then practical application on what that can look like. So, let's begin by talking about historical figures. Now, Saint Teresa of Avila, she was someone who she was someone who faced much difficulty, but and she was also part of a Reformation movement. And throughout that time that she was part of the Reformation movement, it put her in a position to where she was able to be seen, be heard, and see and make a difference. And if you think about it, during those times, women really, especially during those times, women really didn't have a lot of say or a lot of um, faith. Well, not necessarily the faith, but they didn't have a strong position in society, right? But she was a Catholic Reformation leader, and she played a critical role within the Catholic Reformation movement. And she used the power of the pen to countless people who were seeking deeper understanding and connection with their faith. And because of her dedication and reform, you know, she with dedication, she was able to help reform the Carmelite order, and she focused on prayer and community living. And during those times, her deep faith and commitment to her spiritual journey and mission guided her. Now, this next person, I'm very excited about Corrie ten Boom. Corrie ten Boom, to me, is a hero for me, because she was someone who hid the Jews during the Holocaust, right? And she had survived a concentration camp, and throughout that time period, she lived a life of forgiveness and hope. What I think about when it comes to Corrie ten Boom is how much there was a story where someone who was who had was a participant in bringing harm within the concentration camp where her family was, and he went to her to ask for forgiveness, and she told him that she had already forgiven him. And I think about that sometimes when I'm going through a difficult time, or if there's something said that requires forgiveness on my side, because she lived a life where you couldn't help but notice that there was forgiveness and hope within what she did within her life. Another individual that I will mention who I have great respect for is Mother Teresa. She lived a life that was of service to the poor. She inspired millions of people, and the impact of what she did affected generations, right? She and the thing about Mother Teresa is that she wasn't really trying to do it for her service for no to be known. She was really doing it because she wanted others to to she really just wanted to help. That's really where it came from. And she did it from a place of what she felt like God wanted her to do within her own obedience. So now let's move forward to speaking and talking about uh, our today's time of women. So I'll also mention someone who I consider to be an inspirational person, and that is Bethany Hamilton. Bethany's story is pretty amazing to me because she was someone who was a surfer and a, she had her arm bitten off by a shark. And the inspiring story around that is that how she's been able to help others with their challenges and persevere. And the fact that she was able to return to surfing after that, to me, that spoke and speaks volumes. Renee Bondi is also someone who I think is absolutely amazing. I absolutely love um, her story as well. She was someone who had an accident that resulted in her being paralyzed, and that changed her life forever. However, through her faith story, she found strength within her challenges and she's trust in rebuilding her life. And as a result, she inspires others through her music and motivational speaking who are also facing their challenges and encourages others that they have hope and can get through difficult times. Christine Lane is another person. She is someone who dedicated her life to advocating for justice and raising awareness about abuse and empowerment. And I'm so sorry about my voice. Just one moment. We're going to get something to drink. In her own personal experience as a survivor, she has empowered others in their own challenges and their strengths. And she promotes this through faith and leadership, encouraging others to give back to their community as well. When I was in my situation over 20 years ago, I heard um, there it was stories such as these that assisted that I also poured into me as well that I took into that would help me and definitely want me to get to a better place. So here are some strategies for combining faith and your mental strength. So one of the strategies is to build a foundation of faith, whether that be, doing some devotional time, affirmations, um, just doing regular things like prayer, reading scripture can help build out foundation. And I also believe in the power of community worship, connecting with others within your place of worship makes a big difference, as well as um, doing an act of service. I think also can help build your foundation of faith. It also helps to build resilience during difficult times. I recall one time when uh, when I've had difficult times, I often think about the others I have served in the past and then can think to myself, if they can get through this, I can get through this too. And that helps to build that. The resilience you have through prayer and meditation allows you to reflect, and within that reflection, give you that inner peace while you are connecting with God. There's nothing more powerful, in my opinion, than the time that you have in your prayer closet, where you can take that time to reflect and pray and meditate and remember who God is and how wonderful He is, despite what you may be having to deal with or what is in front of you. We also want to cultivate our own support systems and community involvement. Support systems help to develop and build resilience when we're going through difficult times and coping with challenges more effectively. And then regarding how we work with in our involvement within community connections, it also helps to provide a sense of belonging and purpose. When we are within our support systems and we are a part of our faith community, what it does is it helps to encourage us and motivate us during difficult times. So, here are some practical applications that you can use for daily life. You want to set aside time for prayer. We want to take a dedicated time for prayer as it helps to strengthen your connection with faith and it also provides a moment of peace in daily life. We also want to engage in doing some type of service activity. Um, I believe that if we are in a world where people show greater respect and kindness towards one another, then we can't help but have a better world. And then I also want to emphasize the importance of gratitude. Gratitude helps you to take your eyes and your focus from the lack and appreciate what you already have. And what that does is it causes an expansion of more of the good that you already have within, and you before you know it, sometimes you won't even recognize that the lack is there. When we are dealing with challenges and the mental strength, if you're already doing those other items, see what it does is it helps to build. It helps to build the mindset that's focused on faith. And then the affirmations help to carry you throughout the day. And as you're praying, it helps to also, especially when you're in a place of prayer and you've been in that position of prayer, you find yourself not easily getting shifted or moved by the day's events, whether that be with family, a conversation with a significant other, or even with the own individuals that you may have in your life. I cannot emphasize enough the importance of sharing your stories and inspiring others. Because just as I shared those other stories, it makes a big difference with what's coming. So the personal stories of overcoming challenges, it can motivate and inspire others. Your story, what is your story? Because your stories matter. It's such a powerful thing. It also helps to strengthen your community bonds so that other people will know I'm not going through this alone. One of the biggest things that I know that I work when I work with people is helping them to realize that they are not alone. And what you're doing is you're helping someone recognize and realize if they got through this, I can get through this too. And I encourage you to also have open conversations about faith as in within nurturing environments, as it also does promote personal growth and understanding and also clarity when you're dealing with difficult times. So I hope you enjoyed this very short presentation and webinar that's here. We discussed how our faith can make us resilient. It can also assist us with making us determined, and how it can also inspire others. If you like this, please like and share. And then tomorrow, yes, I'll be starting the book club for Elisha's Space, and we will be doing the first 3 chapters of the book. And um, if you have not read the book or anything like that, that's okay. I'll probably review the chapters anyway, and then we'll practice using the Enneagram. So I'm looking forward to talking with you guys tomorrow, and I hope you have a wonderful and fantastic day. Go forth in greater healing. That is my hope for you. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.